Hi everyone, this is Jamie, and this is my response for Unit 7. So the prompt pretty much said to state your reaction to Eric Linder's purpose in his life. I just thought it was interesting that, he was writing, or he was speaking back to the letter that the young lady had sent him, and he was like, God has a purpose for my life, but God also made me fast. And I think that's like something that's really hard concept to understand is that God gives these individuals amazing like athletic talent, and whether or not it's their purpose in life, it's something that God gave them and they shouldn't be wasted. In high school, it like made me reflect back into high school. My parents both supported me in my sports and my sport careers for both swimming and water polo. But my family members would question me sometimes because I was at the age where a lot of my friends and my cousins were all getting jobs in high school, and I was the only one who was like, no, I don't want a job right now. My job is to be a student and to be an athlete and to compete. And they would be like, that's not a job, Jamie. You're not contributing to society. Um, but that's how I would put it, and my parents would say the same thing, like her job is to win races and to win water polo games and to get good grades. And looking at these athletes, like you can look at a basketball player, like my purpose in life is to play basketball. But how is that purpose contributing to society? Because it's something that's really different from that of a doctor or a lawyer or somebody else who does a lot for the community that they live in or that they service to. And it's just important to know that, like, God does give us these values or these traits and these talents that we shouldn't just disregard. We definitely should take advantage of them. So that was my reaction on that. So my purpose, is no longer to win races, but now I feel that my purpose is to be the voice of reasoning for my athletes as well as my colleagues. At the Y where I work out, I'm one of the oldest employees there. A lot of them are in high school or like junior college, and they are still trying to find themselves in lives. And then I also coach a lot of young athletes from between the ages of 5 to 10 years old, and my other coach coaches pretty much from 10 to 18, or roughly. We have a little bit of a gray area. But I love coaching the younger kids because I love teaching them technique and telling them that they're better than what they think they are. I have one athlete who gets very flustered very easily because he doesn't think he can swim fast. But he's one of the fastest ones. He's just kind of stuck in some of the strokes. And so I like to tell him, like, hey, you're doing amazing. You're doing great, because then it pushes him a little bit more. Whereas my other coach, her way of teaching us speed and being a better person and winning the race. So she takes like a little bit more of a mature approach in that sense for kids who already know that they're fast. And so it's just nice to see the two dynamics. But as far as my colleagues, they're still learning about themselves. They're still trying to figure it out. And I love talking to the younger colleagues of mine at my work because they still don't know what the real world is just yet. They're still living at home, or they haven't had those extremely hard classes. And they're just kind of trying to find their way. And I like to tell them, like, take your time and just figure it out. So I feel like that's my purpose right now. And I think that our purpose changes indefinitely as we grow up because, someday you might have a family. Your purpose may change. You may get that amazing career job and then decide, this isn't really what I want to do, and then find a different purpose for your life. The way I take my understanding is that I think, God does have a purpose for us. We're a blessing or we're a lesson to somebody else, and meeting different people at a certain point in our time, like, either helps us grow or helps somebody else grow. And that's really important because that's an ever-changing thing. But yeah, that was my response. I look forward to hearing everybody else, and good luck going into week 8 after this. We can all do it. So have a good day. Bye.